Hi, everybody. This is Kevin Gormley with Leading Edge Financial Planning. Today, I'm here with Jason Reagan, who is a certified financial planning professional, as well as is it a trust owner or an LLC owner? Jason, what do you
I'm
have?
part of it's a kind of a family limited partnership.
Family limited partnership. Okay, thanks. Today,
Mhm.
really the mission today is just to let people know that there is this potential obligation in the fourth quarter of 2024 if you've not done it already, and we don't think anyone has. But it's from the Fincen, and it was the Corporate Transparency Act in 2021 passed a law that said we all must do something. So Jason, what do you think that something is? You've just had a webinar. I did a webinar this week as well. How would you classify what needs to be done?
Well, first of all, it's good to be back on video. I haven't done a video in a while, but it's good to be here. I just want to point out too that we're still learning about this ourselves, so we're just trying to get information out to folks just to give them advance notice that they may be impacted by this, so they're ready for it is what we're trying to do here. So we're still learning ourselves, but basically. What the government's trying to do is they're trying to, most of you remember after COVID, a lot of money was given out to these corporations. And funny enough, a whole bunch of new entities were created in 2020 after the government started giving out money. And what they're trying to do now is they're trying to identify the individuals behind these companies. So that's what's driving this whole requirement is they want to know who the actual people are that are behind these corporate entities.
Yeah, Jason, let me say that the money was stolen using the creation of companies and other types of organizations, and it really was theft. The PPP loans and some of these other ways that the government was trying to help people in need was taken advantage of by criminals with intent to deceive and steal. But anyway, that's the backdrop for why this is. Now, we're not going to get into if this is a good thing or not. If we did, we'd be saying no, because we like freedom, but this is what it is. And so, can you talk a little bit about what the requirement is here?
Well, the requirement basically applies to if you have or if you're involved in an LLC, limited partnership, family limited partner, C Corp, S Corp. If you are involved in any of those entities, then most likely there are some limited exceptions, but most likely you're going to need to file FinCEN. And one thing that you have to determine is who is going to be doing that filing. Somebody's got to actually go on the FinCEN website and do the filing. So and then as part of the filing, it's going to be required to list all the beneficial owners, and a beneficial owner is basically defined as anyone that owns 25% or more of the entity, or they have substantial control. And there's no real strict definition of substantial control, but I think what I learned in the webinar yesterday was if in doubt, file. If you don't need to file and you do, there's no harm there. But if you do need to file and you don't, there's severe penalties there. I think it's over $500 a day and some amount of criminal jail time, that kind of thing. So this is a big deal, and this has to be done by the end of the year, by December 31st of this year. So it's coming up pretty quick.
Yeah, and just to also mention that this law has been found unconstitutional in at least one small subset of the country. I think it was Alabama, but I could be wrong about that. But I heard about this, Jason, about 2 years ago. I saw an attorney speaking at one of our CPA programs, and he said this is a thing that's coming, and and we kept thinking it was going to get overturned, but it's not. So anyway, just keep checking and see if it does get overturned before the end of the year. But if not, we do have to act. So the financial, I think it's called financial crimes, and what else?
Yeah, it's
The
the
FinCEN.
FinCEN is the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network.
Okay, and so that's created by the Treasury. So this is actually not a tax document. Jason, can you talk a little bit about where you have to go to file this? And also, we've heard some scammers, again, thieves out there trying to take advantage of the fear factor of $500 a day. Can you talk a little bit about the right things to do?
Well, yeah, for sure. You need to be wary of anybody offering to do this type of filing for you. But the best way to do it is just go direct to the Fincen website, and you can Google it. Go to the Fincen website, and all the information is on there. So one of the requirements is, so if you file this report, and you're going to have all the beneficial owners listed, and you have to include, I don't remember exact everything, but you have to have full names, address, date of birth. You're also going to have to upload a driver's license or a copy of your passport, which I know a lot of people may not be happy about doing. But so if you file these beneficial and you have these beneficial owners listed with all that information I just went over, if any of those beneficial owners get married, change their address, change their phone number, technically the entity has to go back in within 30 days and update that information. However, there is a workaround on that and this is the way I'm doing it. I just created what we call a Fincen ID today, a Fincen identifier number. And so if you go to the Fincen website and create an identifier number for yourself, when the entity files this report, you're just going to file, you're going to put your name and then that Fincen ID number in there. You don't have to put all the other information like address and date of birth and all that stuff. And I have all the beneficial owners. Once they have the ID number from Fincen, then basically the onus on any address changes, dates of birth, well, that's not going to change obviously, but name changes, change of address, then the onus is on the individual to update that information with Fincen. The entity does not have to keep track of everybody's demographic information continuously.
Yeah, so let me pound the table here. So not only do you have to file it, but if anything changes, you have to go back in. Somebody has to go back in 30 days later and refile the change. And it could either be the entity itself, or if you have the Fincen ID, it would have to be the individual. Is that how you read what we need to do? I know we don't have all the facts right now.
That's correct. Yeah, and I would highly recommend going the route of doing the Fincen ID number.
Okay, so it's fincen.gov is the website. What I've read, Jason, and I've not seen this personally or heard of anyone, but when you read something, it's probably happened, is that organizations say they'll file it for $99. And not only do they not file it for you, they take your driver's license and or your passport, and they'll try to steal your identity or do some nefarious things with it. So be very careful about like we talked about, just receiving something in the mail and responding to it. All right. So what do you think the executive summary is on how to find out if you do have to file?
If you filed articles of organization with with the Secretary of State, then you very likely have to file. So if you have a LLC, and you have a rental property owned in that LLC, you have to file. If you own an airplane with a partner and you formed an LLC for that partnership, you likely have to file. So I would say many people watching this video probably, if you're in any way associated with LLC, like I said earlier, LLC, limited partnership, C Corp, S Corp, I would assume that you're going to have to file and worry about exceptions. If you think you might have an exception, and there's a very limited list of exceptions. One of them, there is an exception for a large company. I think it's more than 20 employees and more than 5 million.
Yeah, a large company I'm not worried about, because the large companies usually have infrastructure to be able to file these things. It's more the small businesses that I think, someone that has an LLC and they're renting a property. I see that as having to file. If somebody even has an LLC and it's not been active, still you need to file. If not, there's that $500 per day penalty. So there are exceptions. That's the thing. This reminds me of tax returns, because you have to file, except there are some exceptions. And if you're a Schedule C filer, Jason, if you just are doing business and you're putting your company through your Social Security number, you don't have to file then. We know that as well.
Right. Yeah. So sole proprietorship, if you're doing taxes, if your business is under your Social Security number, then you're already identified and you're a known quantity. So a sole proprietorship, I think you're in the clear.
So as far as how difficult it is to file this, I've not done it personally. Jason's gotten himself a FinCEN number, ID, I should say. But I've been told by those that have filed it is it's not a difficult process. They make it fairly straightforward to file it. But do you have any other comments around that from the webinar you watched, Jason?
No, I just think it's important to be aware of this. Assume that you're going to have to file, and like Kevin said, from my understanding, it's the actual reporting is 15 to 20 minutes. It's not that big a deal, and I just want to foot stomp. If in doubt, file. If you think you might qualify for an exception, you can reach out to us, but we're probably going to tell you that you need to consult with an attorney. Just to be sure, because we're not really qualified. We have to be careful about, stepping into what they call
Practicing
the
law.
unauthorized practice of law. But so any questions, feel free to reach out to us, and we can give you further information. I also want to point out too that if you had an entity the last few years and it's dissolved now, it does not exempt you from filing. So I think I don't remember offhand. I believe if you dissolved anything, like even after anything you dissolved after December of 31st of 2023, there's still a requirement there to file. Just be aware, yeah. Just because you did dissolve your entity, don't assume that you're off the hook.
That's right. So here's the takeaways, Jason, as I see them. Number one, this is the thing that has to be done before December 31st if we don't get a reprieval from someone finding it unconstitutional. If you don't file, it's $500 a day if you're willfully neglecting to file. The filing part maybe is not that difficult, although it is painful to upload our driver's license and or passport to another website. Find out if you need to file. Most likely you do, but find out if you need to file. And then as far as who to turn to for help, I would say first place to turn is to the actual FinCEN website and other organizations that you feel that you can trust, and reading if you fit the facts and circumstances of filing. Consult your attorney. Jason actually got a letter from his attorney, warning him about the upcoming deadline, and attorneys should be able to help as well. Jason, any parting shots before we end the video here?
No, I think we covered it, and like I said, we were just trying to get this information out there. We're still learning more, but just wanted folks to be prepared. December 31st is coming up. It's coming up pretty quick, and I would like to caution too. Kevin just talked about having to upload passports and driver's license info. Just be very careful about how you're transmitting such information. It's generally not a good idea, and unencrypted emails. So just be wary about how you're emailing your information around. If you upload it directly to the Fincen website, it should be fine. But I just wanted to caution everybody about emailing that kind of information unencrypted.
Yeah, well, that's right. Well, thank you, Jason. Appreciate your time today. If you have questions or comments, please let us know. We'll have the information in the description below with the website.
Have a good day.
Take care.
Leading Edge Financial Planning, LLC is a registered investment advisor. Advisory services are only offered to clients or prospective clients where Leading Edge Financial Planning and its representatives are properly licensed or exempt from licensure. For additional information, please visit our website at www.leadingedgeplanning.com. The information provided is for educational and informational purposes only and does not constitute investment advice, and it should not be relied on as such. It should not be considered a solicitation to buy or an offer to sell a security. It does not take into account any investor's particular investment objectives, strategies, tax status, or investment horizon. You should consult your attorney or tax advisor. The views expressed in this commentary are subject to change based on market and other conditions. These documents may contain certain statements that may be deemed forward-looking statements. Please note that any such statements are not guarantees of any future performance, and actual results or developments may differ materially from those projected. Any projections, market outlooks, or estimates are based upon certain assumptions and should not be construed as indicative of actual events that will occur. All information has been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but its accuracy is not guaranteed. There is no representation or warranty as to the current accuracy reliability, or completeness of, nor liability for decisions based on such information, and it should not be relied on as such.